Hi, everyone. I am going to give a few minutes for people to show up, but in the meantime, we are going to color these pieces of parchment this morning, and then we'll see what else we have time to do. I am filming a series of tutorials on this page, and clips of this will be part of that, so you can look for those coming up. And I am using StreamYard for the first time. So if you are watching this in a replay and you notice anything strange, just leave a comment, and that way I'll know your experience wasn't what you expected, or if there's something different. If you are here, like I said, I am learning new things about StreamYard. It's only the second time I've used it. So let's see, somewhere in here, there is a banner that I can put. Please hello if you're here, so I can greet you, and then I can see how comments work on here. Oh, there's a comment. Oh, Nabul, see, I'm learning. Hi, Nabul. How are you? How is France? Bonjour. Bonsoir. Oui. It is 6 o'clock, right? So evening. So bonsoir. Bienvenue. I am, like I said, I'm still learning how to use these features. So it's a little different, Nabul, than Periscope was. There's a few more things to figure out. So I'm not, the camera's up there, but I'm also looking at the comments that are down here. So I feel like my eyes are kind of going everywhere. But yeah, it's very interesting, and having both cameras on the screen at the same time is interesting. So I'm trying to figure out how to work this thing. It doesn't, I don't think, works as well for the old kind of live streams I used to do, Nabul, walking around, showing things, but we'll see. Maybe it will. So I can see now I got to fix this light right here. It's too bright. So see, I'm learning what shows up and what doesn't. So that is, yeah, I'll have to move that light bulb. I will figure it out. And what's fine is I don't have to necessarily be professional. I'm not doing this for a living, so I'm just having fun. But since I had some followers on my YouTube page from coloring from a project I did a couple of years ago, I thought, well, I'm going to experiment with this, so at least I have some built-in people, maybe, from here and on Instagram. So yeah, we're just figuring it out. What are you up to? Are you still working at the same place? Are you live streaming, Nabul? I don't remember seeing one recently. I think I'm subscribed to you, right? Yeah, tell me what you're up to. And I am going to, in the meantime, start coloring in the sections we're going to color. So since I'm using this as part of a series, I'm going to do a little bit of describing as I go. That isn't necessarily chat related, but I can edit that part out for the video that I'm making about this page. So you can see I've already colored some of the tags. So you can see I used just 3 pencils, and I'll use those same 3 pencils today for this tag right here and this tag right here. And let me get rid of this. No, I'm going to leave that there for a minute. Same 3 pencils, and I wanted them to look a little bit like old parchment, and I've used these colors a lot. I use them for Christmas things, and anytime I want to have a like a parchment looking paper. And then a couple of them, this one here, it's hard to look at the screen and point at the same time, and there's a little bit of a delay, so that's a learning curve. I colored this one and this one. I added a little bit of different color to match the page, but for the most part, it's just these same 3 colors for the paper behind it. And yeah, so the first thing I do to color parchment is I use this burnt umber Polychromos to make the edge look a little dirty, look, just a little bit, just a hair. And then you can always go back and darken it. Like this one is a little lighter than this one. And then this one has some black in it too, because I wanted that to be a night sky when it's done. Excuse me. So you can vary the colors depending on what you want it to look. If do it exactly the same. If you want them all to look exactly the same, but I wanted a little bit of a variety, but not too much. So I am just going to start coloring, and then we can chat some more. Okay, Nibble, you haven't live streamed in a year. Is it just because the platform changed and people weren't there, or did you experience that once you started on YouTube before? Because you started on YouTube before Periscope shut down. So was it just not as fulfilling? Just your schedule changed? Just decided to do different things? And the other thing I'm going to experiment with you all, or my guinea pigs. They have a music overlay feature on here that I'm going to try in just a second to see how that goes. And it never fails when I start on this live stream. My nose starts to get itchy and runny. So hopefully, hopefully that won't be too distracting, but I may have to go off camera for just a second and take care of that. So I think you were here. Oh, you commented, I think, after the fact on my last one, what was the very, very first time I used StreamYard, which is what obviously I'm using, because you can see right up in that corner. I figured out how to configure my speakers and things without an echo like I did last time, like I had last time. So that's good. And as part of your sound is okay? Okay, good. I would like to get a better microphone if I'm going to do this more often, because I'm just using the microphone on my laptop, and I know it's not fabulous, and neither is like the colors and things, but just to start out, I just wanted to experiment a little bit. I'm just going through lightly, making the border a little dirty. And then I'm not going to color the items that are on well, this one's already colored. I'm not going to color the item that's on it because I'm not exactly sure what colors are going to go on there. I'm just doing the paper behind it today. So unless this goes a lot faster. Hi, Chris. Welcome. You are here for my grand experiment. Thank you. This is only the second time I've done this using StreamYard, and so we're experimenting a little bit. So this is the first time I've actually had comments show up, and so I'm kind of learning how to manage, but it's fun. Hopefully it is a decent experience. I'm going to turn the music on in a minute. I haven't done that yet. Like I said, I'm still experimenting. But Chris, where are you from, if you don't mind sharing? Nibble is in France, which is beautiful. And we actually, Nibble is one of my online friends that I have actually met in person years ago when my husband and I traveled to France. So that was a great experience to meet someone in person that I had only met online before. So that was very fun. Are you coloring right now too, Chris, or are you just dropping into chat? Brazil, nice. So I don't know what to. Yes, Nibble, it's helpful to set a commitment when you schedule something. It's like I had to get up out of bed this morning and get started on my day. So that was good. Dave is actually out doing a new thing today. He's racing. Well, they've got some, I don't know. I've never watched him do it before, but a friend of his has got a certain kind of race car that they do. Not like, I don't know. I'll have to find out more, but that's where he is all today. So he's kind of getting a taste of his old days. So you color too, Chris. Okay, so I will check out your, do you post your things on YouTube or on Instagram or on Facebook somewhere? One of the things I like about this hobby is meeting new people and new experiences. So I will check you and I will check your workout, and it also is showing me your name, Chris Oliveira. Is that the name you use on your channel, or do you have a handle that's different? Because that's all I see. What time is it in Brazil? I'm terrible at geography. It is just after 6 for Nabul, 6 p.m., just after 9 a.m. here. I can't remember where in relation to California, Brazil is. Sorry, I will learn. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just coloring these little parchment tags to match the other ones that I did off camera. And I'm putting together a video of all the elements on this page. The last time I did a live stream, I did just the background. And I'm going to edit them all together. I've posted a couple of smaller videos on the hat and the pumpkin already. And I'm not sure if I'll do a whole separate one just for the parchment since I'll have this live stream, but there's a few other elements, the bat and her clothes and maybe the cat, that I will do 1 p.m. here. Okay, so we have a little variety. You just had lunch. So at the end, I will have a few separate small tutorials and one big how I choose colors on the page. So I'm experimenting a little bit with what works and what's fun to do. I have loved coloring for a while, but I've never really done much more than post on Instagram before now. So just experimenting. I used to live stream on a different platform. That's where I met Nabul years ago. And it wasn't coloring. It was just random things. And I really, really liked it. I loved meeting all the new people. And then it shut down. And Facebook and YouTube live streaming isn't quite the same. So I'm going to do an experiment because I don't know what the lag is like from when you type in a comment to when I see it. That was one of the downfalls, was the lag. It made conversation a little bit harder here than on some of the other platforms. So type in a comment, make note of when you type it, and then I'll tell you when I see it. And then you can tell me how long it took for me to see it after you typed it. So you did reading. I did do reading in French too. That's something I would like to do again. That was fun. But I don't have a channel necessarily for it. I don't think that would work quite as well here on this channel. But I would like to, so I have too many different interests. I like the coloring. I like, oh, thank you. I do. I love them too. They're so warm and they're so, they just have a good, cozy feeling. And I love that. That and Christmas also, both. This whole time from like September to December, I try to do as many seasonal pages as I can during that time, just because they're my favorite. But anyway, back to the, I'd like to do some more French speaking Nabul, and I would like to do some other things that don't necessarily have to do with coloring, but I'm not ready to maintain like 2 different YouTube accounts. I would love to use YouTube somehow for practicing speaking French with those of you who obviously are native speakers or close to it. Yes, I love it. So can you tell Chris Ornable how long it took those comments to show up? I just saw the super nice season one just now. I'm just trying to get an idea. Does it take 30 seconds for your comments to show up? Are they almost simultaneous. So anyway, I'm just using these tutorials and these live streams as a kind of learning this platform and seeing if I can make it work for me. And if I get the hang of it, maybe I'll branch out more with some different channels to do different things, because I don't want to mix them. So what I'm doing now is just going over with a third color, which is a Prismacolor, and it's just sand. I think it's 940. Let's see, is it good? Nope. Too close? Nope. It's getting worse. That's what I'm learning. I'll put the numbers in the comment posted. Okay. Shoot, but I wasn't looking at the comments. So, but I said that as soon as I saw it. So how long did that take? Oh, but now it might take a minute for you to see my reaction to it. It's so confusing. It's one of the things you're reading it. Okay. So I just, I saw that one as soon as it popped up. You're reading it. So my clock says 9:16 and the comment says 9:15. But sometimes that doesn't necessarily translate. So, sorry, back to the tag and the tutorial at hand. This last color is the 940. So I used 2 Polychromos. The darkest one is Burnt Umber, which is 280. It is a Klara Markova book. It is this. Okay, I'm gonna practice. There's a tool to show you exactly what let's see. It might just be a link. Yeah, this is just the link to her website for people who weren't familiar with her. I'm practicing with that little thing down there. I'm going to leave that one there, though. This one is Fairy Touch of Magic, and I just love her books. They're very fun. They have lots of things on them, but it's not too busy. And I just like her style. It's really cute. So, and because I don't do scary Halloween, but I do cute Halloween. So I really like her pages because they're that way. Oh, let me got to put the comments back on here. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. So I'm using my phone to show this and my laptop to show me. So I feel like I've got too many places. Okay. Nubul knows this about me already. Chris, you don't, but when I'm live streaming, I want to talk to everyone, but I also want to, have information. Oh, I'm moving too much. So I get distracted because I want to start talking, and comment and, reacting to comments. And then I might forget what I was talking about before. So Nubul knows this already, but if somebody else is new here. I see a number 3. So say hello. Don't be shy. There's no strangers here. I get distracted. So if I'm saying something that's really important to you and I get distracted from something and it sounds like I have forgotten to go back to the thing I was talking about before, please remind me, because I do that a lot. And I will say, oh, shoot, I know I was talking. I got to stop moving quite so much. I will, it's important for me to get all the information out, and then I get distracted, and then I might not give you information that you really wanted, or we might be in a train of conversation, and I don't want it to get just lost. I just know you get distracted a little bit. So that's something I'm working on, but I want everybody to get involved in the conversation. Wow, it was really shaky today. I need a different mount for my phone. Oh, hi, Andrea. I'm experimenting with this. I wish I had a better background for y'all to look at, but you can see Vincent back there. At least there's a little bit of art, but I'm working on it. How are you today, Andrea? You having a good day? Let's see. Nabul is here from France and Chris is here from Brazil. So we're just having a little general chat. I'm trying to get used to this whole StreamYard thing. And I don't love the little logo up there, but I'm using their free service right now. So if this becomes a real thing, I can, if I do this more often, I will invest in a more solid phone mount. So because I tend to get I'm moving around too much, and that's shaking the shelf that's attached to. But I can invest in a better, do something with the background and a better mount on here. But her book, they can be expensive to get different places depending on the shipping. I have the Fairy Miracles, and then this one is the Fairy Touch of Magic, and I just love it. And I'm waiting for that new release too. Excuse me. It was supposed to come out, I think, already. It was supposed to come out in September, but then I saw the a notice that there was some delay of some kind. And I can't remember, it's terrible, but I can't remember where she's from. So I'm wondering if the situation in Ukraine and Russia is affecting her region, because I can't remember where she's from. But that could be that there is production problems or shipping problems or something. And that's just such a heartbreaking situation. But so a new coloring book is the least of concerns if that's what's happening. I just can't remember, but I have a feeling it might be. I don't know. I can't remember. A calm and relaxing Saturday, and it's raining outside. Oh, that sounds lovely. Our fall here is so short. And so she's Czech. So she's not right there in the middle of it, but shipping and things could be affected by it. I'm not sure. She didn't say. She just said there was a delay. So we will wait patiently and remember priorities. And in the meantime, we have her other beautiful books to color in. So our fall is so short and our summers are so long that, like yesterday, it was still 87 degrees, which Fahrenheit, which I don't know, it's warm. I don't remember the conversion to Celsius. There's a publisher issue. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. There's some Facebook groups, I think, that post information more often about her, which I'm not a part of. Facebook, I kind of I joined one group on Facebook for coloring, but I tend to keep my coloring on YouTube and Instagram. So she doesn't post there, and people who seem to post news about her don't post there on Instagram very often. I just happened to see somewhere, I think she posted. And all I remember seeing was that there was a delay and they would be out as soon as they could, but that's all I know. So in the meantime, like I said, I'll buy it whenever it comes out. Hopefully it won't interfere with Christmas shopping too much, but I've already budgeted for it, so it should be fine. Nothing to do with war conflicts. I live in Slovakia. We are neighbor countries, but everything is calm. Oh, good. Calm as the prices. 28 degrees. Yes, it's very warm. And I think it was even mid to upper 80s, so maybe closer to 30. I'm not sure. But today was supposed to be like 20 degrees cooler Fahrenheit. So all that being said is I'm really having to force myself to feel like fall. I wore a fall long sleeve shirt, but I'm going to be changing into shorts and a t-shirt after after this. I have to go out and run some errands, and I will be too warm. So I would love it to be raining like it is for you, Andrea, which is, like I said, a long way around to a comment from a while ago. But okay, so back to the tutorial at hand. See, I've been chatting too much, but that's what. Oh, see, there's somebody new here. I see a 4 on the screen, so say hello. There's no strangers. Just say hi, so I can say hello. Back to what I'm actually doing here. Do I need to move that closer? I have what I've discovered is laying my pencils down on this paper or on this hard counter makes really big spikes. Hi, Marie. Welcome. You are able to be here. Oh, now we're up to 6. So that's 5. Oh, 5. Somebody popped in and left. That's fine. Yeah, it's been fun getting to know new people and just getting to know this whole thing. I'm from California. We're like right in the middle of the state. So if you know where San Francisco is, it's on the coast. I'm about 75 miles, almost straight inland. And if you know where Sacramento is, I'm about 75 miles south from there. That's the capital. Yeah, middle of the Central Valley is pretty agricultural around here, but the city that I live in is just under 300,000. So it's not as big as Sacramento, but it's not a small country town either. We have a kind of the best of both worlds. When I drive to the closest Target, I go through some farmland because it's actually in the closest one is in the next little town. So I feel like I'm on the outskirts, kind of in the country. If I need to get out of the hubbub, I can not have to go too far. So I really like it here. What about you? What part of Brazil are you from? So Marie, just for reference, Chris, I believe I'm just meeting today. I don't remember chatting with her ever before. You can understand my English? Oh, good. Hopefully I'm not talking too fast. But so Marie, I know from Instagram. And I think, Chris, I follow you on Instagram too. Rio, nice. Very fun. Do you get tired of tourists there? Do you feel like they're invading sometimes? And okay, so I'm meeting Chris, but I think I follow you. I can't remember. I have a terrible memory, but I try to get to know the people I chat with more. So hopefully next time I will remember all of these things. And Nabul, I know from my first live streaming platform, Periscope, years ago, and I've actually met him in real life. So that was a lot of fun. My husband and I traveled to France, and we were lucky enough to meet Nabul and a couple of other people I met through live streaming. So that was a lot of fun. So maybe one day I'll meet both of you too, Chris and Marie. Just having dinner, 6:30. We had 1 degree Celsius. In the hottest part of this big country. Hottest as in temperature or hottest as in action? Oh, my hair's doing funny things. Hottest as in, the nightlife. Oh, okay. So we are talking in a language I don't know. Talk amongst yourselves. Feel free. This is not just chat for me. Okay, so just because I am using this as part of my tutorial on this page, I'm going to chat a little bit again. I'm doing the exact same thing on this page. Oh, I know what I need to do. Or I'm the exact same thing on this tag that I'm doing on all the others, the same 3 pencils. I start out with this darkest one, burnt umber, 280 in a Prismacolor. I'm just kind of making the edges dirty with it. And I'm going to try to go a little lighter than those. We'll see. And then we go in with a second color. I'm just using 3 colors on all of these tags, but on this one, because it has stripes on it, I'm going to add a 4th color, just like I did to this one and this one. Well, I guess 3 of those have colors, just to differentiate them a little bit. But I use this technique anytime I want, like parchment, kind of old paper. And I know I said at the beginning, so Nubul, you're going to hear this twice, but so I've used it on a lot of Christmas. Okay, Andrea, see you in a minute. I use it on a lot of Christmas pages, and I used it in my World of Flowers book at least once. That was where I figured it out, and I just loved it there. So I used it a lot after that, but it's very easy to do. My style is to take or to try to finish a page almost in as few pencils as I can manage to get the color I want, because while I love so many of you, so many colorists who can just layer and get some wonderful effects with so many different colors and layers. Like I try to have emulated some of Chris Chang's tutorials and several others. I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but who just do amazing things with blending colors and layers of colors and combining different colors together. And the results are gorgeous. But I don't have fun in the process because it takes so long. So that was my one piece of advice when I see people wondering like how to find their style or how to get it right or whatever. There is no right. It is all about the art. It's process. It's the process, and whatever you do is right. So what I've discovered is I like simple. I like simple things. I like combining colors, but I like seeing them on the page, and then I like being done. I like, I like moving, achieving a thing and then moving on and not spending it. I think like the last time I colored a Chris Ching tutorial, it took me almost 2 weeks just for the background, and it's like I was done. I don't even think I did as many layers as she did and as many different things, just because I wanted to be doing something different, and I don't like leaving. I don't like having multiple whips going on at this works in progress going on at the same time. So I try to finish a page and move on. So right now, because I didn't do this before, I'm picking a color to add to some of those stripes, and I want to do it green because none of the other tags have green. And there's green in that in the leaf, and I think it was this one. I didn't write it down. It doesn't really matter because it's going to be really faint, just like those are. The point is, I kind of wanted these to look a little faded. And how many pencils are you using on this page? Well, I can count on the background. You can't see the whole background, but there's 3 pencils on the background, so there's 3 shades of purple from the bottom to the top, so that's 3. I used only 2 on the hat, so that's 5. And then I used 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's 12. So far I've used 12. Then plus these 3, now 4 that I will end up using on here. 15 so far. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, so 15. And then I will use a few more in some of the other things, but her clothes and the leaf her clothes are gonna be green and black. So I will use some of the same colors from the leaf, which has now gone out of focus, and black from the hat. So that won't add too many different ones. I mean, there will be, like, the theme of this page is they have art supplies, so, which you can't see. And the way I have my laptop mounted, you can't really see, but he's got the bat has an artist palette, so I will use different colors for that, and I'll use some different colors for the ground. So maybe 25 or 30 altogether. I'll have to see. I'll have a count. But yeah, so okay, hold on. I got to do something real quick. I'm still going to be talking, but hold on. Let me see how to do this. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't realize by muting myself it was good, or by taking the picture off, it was going to take me off entirely. Okay, so let's try this again. I want to do that. I'm still talking, but I need to do something real quick. Sorry about that. I'm definitely still learning, but we are all friends here, right? I'm not a professional, and even if I was, I think learning new things is always good. Okay, there we go. So what time is it? 9:30. Oh, plenty of time. Okay, so I'm going to use, I think I answered that question fully, but it will be interesting to add that up at the end just to see how many. But there are some people who would use 10 pencils just on the background. I'm like, I can't I can't do it. I mean, unless I really just had a vision for the background and really wanted it to be a certain kind of way, and that was what I was going to spend my time on, which I've done some of those, but never that many pixels. But I just, it's not my thing. If I want this to continue being a fun hobby, I just have to, you have to be true to what you like and not worry about getting it right, because there is no right. Okay, so right now I am just doing very, very light green, very light pressure, because I just want a hint of green on some of these stripes, which is kind of what I did on the orange right here. Yes, three colors of purple, and I can see them on the whole page. Let's see if I can turn this a little bit. Yeah, so there's a darker blue or purple here, and then there's a lighter, more red purple here, which is, the difference is not showing up quite as well on camera as it is in person, but it is, it's a little redder and a little lighter, and then in the middle there was one that was between those two, so they blended together. So what I really tend to want to accomplish whenever I do gradients is just like a smooth, seamless transition. I'm not always successful because sometimes I choose colors that are just not close enough to each other, and it just makes it harder. You have to work harder to blend them. And like I said before, sometimes I'm not patient enough to do it. But I try not to have like hard lines, but this one I feel pretty good about. It seems like the gradient went pretty well between those. And I'm thinking that I might do a different green on top of this. I'm not sure how, because it's not really showing up as green, kind of showing up as gray. I might need a brighter green, just really light, just to lend itself to looking green. Okay, so am I doing every other one? That's this one then. I started out this page, when I did the hat, I started with Castle pencils, the Castle Arts pencils, but they weren't doing great. It was really hard to get to where I got, and they still never got as dark as I wanted. So I did have to, so maybe I've used 3 on this hat instead, because I did use, I think, a little bit of, what's a Prism? I did use a different brand to get that black a little darker. So technically, I guess it was 3. Want to be honest, want to be accurate. I think that needs a little bit more just regular green. A little bit brighter, but not too much. Okay. So Nabul, since you haven't been live streaming, what have you been doing with your time? What's your what hobbies do you have? I know for a while it was live streaming, but what do you do now when you're not at work, other than hopefully enjoy the beauty of your environment? Hopefully it's not just mundane for you, since you live in such a beautiful area, at least to the rest of us. Oh, nice. I have some water. It's too hot for coffee, and I don't really like coffee all that well, so usually I'll have like when it is colder, I will have like hot chocolate, or I have a wonderful chai tea latte mix from Trader Joe's. Do you have Trader Joe's? Having rest, that's your hobby? I love it. I get it. Maybe you should start coloring, because that's what I do to unwind. I would love to see you color. But Trader Joe's has this wonderful chai tea latte mix. Oh my goodness, because I tend to like sweet. I have a sweet tooth, and it's just yummy. So, yeah. but I'm looking forward to it being cold enough here to want those things. I think that's green enough. Okay, so I'm going to go on then with the last color, which is a Prismacolor. So the first three in these greens are all Polychromos. I don't always. Oh, hi Nancy. Am I teaching you? Okay, good. I'm still learning to comment on what I'm doing. But thanks for saying hi. Where are you from? And I have a terrible memory. I don't think we've ever chatted before. But if we have, I'm so sorry. Forgive me. I'm learning to multitask. Yes, Nabul, lots of people use it for stress release, and they even have like art therapy for people in counseling. A friend of mine does that. Oh, hi, Georgia. So, okay, so it is just after lunchtime. Is it 12:40 there? I'm so bad at geography. But I just found out, I believe, that my sister-in-law and her husband are looking at a house in Georgia. I don't remember where. This was a new thing. Sent me a picture of the neighborhood. It was beautiful. Nice and green, which is different from where they live. They live over in the Bay Area, just east of San Francisco. So not quite as green here. Oh, yes. So Nancy, you weren't here before. And for my regulars, I say this a lot. I do get distracted trying to answer everybody's comments and remember what I'm talking about. So if I ever lose my train of thought on something that's really important to you, please feel totally free just to say, hey, don't forget I asked you a question, because I do my best, but I do get distracted. So yeah, I am just using 3 colors of pencils on all these tags just to make them look like old paper. I wanted something that really contrasted well with the dark background and the dark of her hat. So this is a combination I use on a lot of things. I've used it on a lot of Christmas things. And yeah, it's just I would use Polychromos for everything on, in this thing. There's only 3 pencils in this technique, and I would use Polychromos for it all, but Polychromos doesn't have a color that's like this. So I don't normally, I usually try to stick to one pencil brand at a time if I can, but sometimes you just can't, because there's just a color you want and the one you're using doesn't have what you want. So, sorry, bumped it. Okay, so back to the second color, which is the 180 raw umber. Now just to blend in a little bit, that edge, which I don't think shows up on the camera. Sorry, I'm trying to, can't tell if my eyes are blurry or if the camera is blurry. Is it blurry for you guys, this camera? I don't care if this camera is blurry on this part. So I think that is just about it for that parchment. That might need a little bit more of this to make it. I want them similar, but not necessarily the same. All of these tags in here. I'm still figuring out my setup here, because like right now, this part of the thing is on the other side of my camera that I'm using for that. I'm using 2 different cameras, so I'm learning that. So you can get a shot of Vincent over my shoulder while I turn my head to see what I'm actually doing. So now I'm just kind of really super lightly kind of going over this in some places, just like I said, I kind of want it to look like old paper that's not necessarily clean and maybe is aged a little bit. So that's all I'm doing right now. It probably doesn't show up much on the camera, but okay. So we have a little bit more time. So what I might do is start coloring. I'm not sure what color I want this potion yet. I feel like, so since this page is going to be part of a bigger tutorial on how I choose colors, some of the colors I already know in my head, and some of them I'm making up as I go along. So I know that well, the background obviously is done. That decision was made earlier on, in between, you know, the first decision was, oh, thanks. But is it blurry, or is it just my eyes that are making it look blurry? Because if it's blurry, I'll have to work on that. I don't know if there's much adjustment I can make to that right now, but for the next one. But I can't tell if it's my eyes that are blurry, because, you know, when you focus up close, and then at least my 54-year-old eyes, I focus here, and then it's like my eyes having trouble focusing, or is that the camera? Okay, so back to colors and decision making. I started with the black for whatever reason. I just knew I wanted her to have a black hat in this picture. And I wanted a relatively traditional Halloween palette, which for me is black, purple, green, and orange. I'm not sure why, but a lot of my Halloween pictures have those 4 colors in them. So I knew that the hat was going to be black, and the tags were going to be mostly this light parchment. So I needed a color that would work against the black and the tan. So it had to be kind of a medium color. So that's how I landed on the purple. And then when I colored the hat, I wasn't sure what color the background was going to be. So I left this little white rim just in case the sky behind it was dark, which I'm glad I did, because it is. And that way the hat stands out against the dark background. But since I knew at the time that I did the hat that the tags were going to be light, I went ahead and colored it all the way to the edge here, so that so it shows up better against the light color of that. But the point of this train of thought was, I don't know what color the potion is going to be yet. I don't know whether it's going to be dark or light. So I left the white rim just in case, and I still don't know what color that's going to be. So I'm not going to color this one, but I think I'm going to, in the next few minutes. Yeah, see, it's just a little thing that I didn't know about it. Some other colorist pointed that out. I was like, that is a great idea, because sometimes it does get lost. Oh, I don't know that I can, but let me try it, Chris. Because I'm using StreamYard, which I don't think has. I'm going to experiment here. I don't know. Nope. Okay. But what I can try to, oh, hold on. This is a lesson for next time. What I can do is upload a picture next time that I can just share on the screen, which, see, I didn't think about that. So what I can do is I can turn it so it'll be very professional. I can turn it a little bit so more of the page will show up. I have my microphone in my phone. That's the only way I could, yeah. That's the only way I could make it not echo. So let's see. I can do this. It'll be a little shaky, but hold on. And you'll see the messy part of my desk. So we're going to do this. Okay, so let me just do this since we're freestyling it here. Oh. Nope, that's going to go upside down. Sorry, it's doing it a different direction. Okay. I know what I'll do. Okay, just a second. Very professional. There we go. That's as good as it's going to get. But next time I will upload a picture, so all I have to do is share my screen. So yeah, I just love her pages. It's a very traditional page, just like she does. And so I might do a tutorial about this bat too, and her dress, and maybe the cat, because I want the cat to be black, but I don't want it to look exactly the same as the hat. So I'm going to find a different highlight color. This was a kind of a bright blue color in the in the highlight there. So I'll find a different color to do with the black there so that they're not exactly the same. So then I'll put all of these things together into one big how I chose colors tutorial, and we'll get that posted too. Okay, so now I'm going to put this back in here. I love her illustrations because they're sweet and interesting and just very cute. So it's always harder for me to color skin, so I tend to color skin at the very end. We'll see how it goes, but I kind of got a routine now where I can kind of make it work, and her face isn't too big. I don't find joy in coloring big portraits, so I don't do that very often. So like a lot of I think it's Hannah Carlzon who does the big faces. I don't have any of her books, mostly because I think I just lied. I think I have one. What did I buy? I did. I have the Midnight Masquerade because there wasn't too many faces in it, and I figured I would color some. For the background, I used 3 purple Polychromos pencils, and I don't have them out right now, but in the last live I did a couple weeks ago is when I started coloring it, and I may have listed them there. I can't remember because that was the very first live I've done in forever, so I probably didn't come prepared with a list. But what I can do when we're done here is go put the numbers in the description of that video, because it was kind of like this one where I was just coloring and chatting. It wasn't a huge lesson, but I can go put the colors listed there because I don't remember what they are, but they were Prismacolors. That's all I remember. I think that's right. Shoot, now I can't remember. I will remember. I think maybe they were Polychromos. I'm a terrible tutorial person. But I'm trying to kind of combine my love for just live streaming and chatting with people with doing tutorials. This is like very new for me, so I'm learning lots of things. So thank you for asking questions. They might have been Polychromos because now that I look at them, they seem like, I think that's what I did. But I will put the numbers in there for sure. When I'm done, I'll go look it up because I took a picture. That's how I usually remember when I decide things on the fly. Oh, I also had a little cheat sheet here where I started figuring out colors, making a list for things to be more prepared for next time. Because I wasn't planning on doing anything on the screen with those colors until I did the whole big tutorial, and I'm not there yet, so I didn't need to do that. But it is always a good idea to be ready with questions. Okay, so now I'm kind of making up things as I go, just in the last few minutes, because I want to make a little bit more progress. So I think I'm just going to start coloring some of the items on this tag right here, since I don't know, this is the train of thought that I started however many minutes ago. I don't know what color yet to make that potion. I have a feeling that I'm going to make it like this background that I used for here is one of the 3 colors that are in the background. So my intention was to color this little lollipop in those kind of purples that are similar to the background, maybe this medium one. And then I'm thinking for the potion, I have another color that I used in a previous Halloween one that's more along the lines of this kind of color, which is darker on the screen than in real life, but it's definitely more on the redder, lighter side. And the colors that I pair with it are pinker. So oh, thank you, Noble. You're so good. See, that's how my memory goes. They're blended well enough that usually that's what I can do with Prismacolors, but I'm glad that it worked with my Polychromos. So I'm thinking since this one will be more like these purples, that this potion I will choose, end up choosing like that lighter, more pinky, brighter color, because it's made out of berries, which on this little label is the berry I'm assuming that this potion is made out of, and those berries are also in the background. So it needs to be a berry color for me, and that fits in with the overall scheme of this. So it will probably, like I said, it'll probably end up being the color that's like this plus pinker. So it'll be a little bit different than these. And then I'll have some browns here, some blacks over here, and then I will figure out what other colors need to be in other places as I go. So that's kind of the point, is I'm trying to pay attention to the process that I go through to choose colors. I'm working on an illustration and I still don't know what to do for the background. That's the hardest thing sometimes, is knowing what will work. And sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes I'll have, I'll look at a page and I'll get inspiration for the background first. Like I want the background to definitely be this color. And so that's what I start with. I usually start with whatever thing I have the most clear idea about. And that's what I did with this page. But sometimes like I will see an inspiration of a color thing. It's like, that would make a great background. And I will find a page to use that color combination on. And then depending on whether it's a background like this, I think looking back now, I probably chose Polychromos because there's not a lot of big open space. There's a lot of little teeny tiny spaces. So that's why I think I answered probably first with Prismacolor, because I use a lot of Prismacolors for backgrounds, because a lot of backgrounds have bigger, wider spaces to color, and Prismacolor, it covers faster and blends a little easier. So that was probably why my first answer was it was Prismacolor, because that's what I do a lot. But for especially this one, where there's not a ton of big expanse, that's probably why I went with Polychromos. But Chris, do you use like watercolors or pastels or anything? I haven't done a ton of those yet, so I don't tend to choose those first. But a lot of people do backgrounds in watercolors and pastels and different, there are different formats for those. So what's in your toolbox? What do you have to choose from? Do you have a favorite for doing backgrounds? So I'm going to do just some, and we're almost done here, but I want to do just a little bit. I didn't sharpen this very well, but I want to do, I know this is a moon, but I want it to have a little bit of glowy feel against the dark sky. So my intent for these tags was just to have some different, like this one's obviously very bright and vibrant. I'm not sure I want to do all of them that way. We'll see, but I just want them to feel like different types of illustrations. So at least for this one, I'm not worried about realism. I'm just trying to represent some things. I feel like the background should be lighter and the item in it should be darker. So for me, the moon feels like the background on this one, and this little hut thing feels like the main thing. So the hut I will probably do real bright like this one. And the same here, I did the background kind of pale, and I'll do the sucker, the lollipop, brighter and deeper colors. So yeah, I don't want to get too far. And I have no idea what color the ribbons are going to be or anything. I think once I get more done in the rest of the page, I'll know what it needs to balance. That's a big thing for me, is having it balanced at the end. So I don't want to make too many spur of the moment decisions unless it's something I know won't affect anything. But a lot of times I'll save the things that are not as important, like the colors on the brushes and the colors on the paints on his palette. Sometimes I save things like, and these tubes, I save those for the very, very end, because I look at the overall page and I see like, okay, there's too much purple on this side and none over here. So I need to add purple over here to kind of balance the two sides out. So I save those little things to be able to do that at the end. Otherwise I get stuck and then I have a page that's not balanced and I don't like it. So that's partly why I did these stripes over here in an orange color, because there's orange over here. And I know the cat will be black and the ribbon will be green. So I needed some more orange over here. So maybe I'll end up doing the ribbon orange. Maybe I'll make one of the brushes, or, you know, I don't know. So I just kind of save those accessories to fill out the color scheme. And that's kind of my normal thing. So, okay, you guys, that was an hour. That went by really fast. So thank you for hanging out with me. And let's see. So there's 3 people here. So that's probably Nabul, Chris, and maybe Nancy, or somebody else who hasn't chatted yet. So thank you all for hanging out with me. And I'm going to try to actually do this again on Thursday. Just seeing what works for people and what works for me. I have Thursdays off of my day job. So, and my husband is gone, obviously at work on those days. So I'm going to try it and see what happens. And I will. Thanks, Nabul. Thanks for hanging out. And if I see you all on Thursday, that would be great. You can come on Thursday, Marie. Yay. So does this time of day work well at morning for me? So if that works well, you can let me know. And if not, maybe I can, because I have pretty much all day free. Well, no, I'm going to lunch with a friend, taking her out for her birthday. So it's either morning or early afternoon, which would be later at night for you. So we'll have to see. That's okay. You don't have, there's no requirements. Sometimes it's fun just to have something on in the background. And, you know, sometimes I will put it on while I'm washing dishes or whatever, and just listen. So that's what I do sometimes. So yeah, this was fun, and I'm looking forward to doing more. Also, Marie. Oh, sure. Thank you too, Chris. It was really nice to meet you. Using StreamYard like this, I can have people on the screen with me like I used to in the old Periscope days. So, which I didn't really ever do any, I didn't do any coloring ones on Periscope, but I think last fall, I did an experiment. I did an experiment with something. Was it on Haps, which is the thing we all tried after Periscope? Because I had a live stream with Anne, Rush, and shoot, somebody else was on the screen with us. Was it you? That's awful. I wasn't planning on talking about this. Otherwise, I would have looked it up. But I did an experiment, but it wasn't awesome. And I mean, it was okay. I can't remember who it was or what we did. But all that being said is it would be really fun to do, to do something together where we're all coloring at the same time. And you don't have to do like I did with your face on the screen. You can just share once, because right now I have 2 different accounts. That's why it's showing. Oh, see, it doesn't have the names on there. Never mind. You didn't know that. But all I have to do is send a link. You don't have to have the software or anything. And we can join, and we can have like up to 10 people on the screen, I believe. So that could be super fun to do like we used to do, and have a bunch of people just showing all their coloring at the same time. So that could be fun to do maybe for Christmas, if you guys are interested. Any of you, find a time of day that works for everyone. And yeah, so let me know if you're interested in doing something like that. Hi, Andrea. We're just starting to wind down, but I was just saying that with the StreamYard software that I'm using, it's really easy to have multiple people on the screen at once. So it would be really fun to do another a group thing where we can all have our coloring page on the screen at the same time, and all chat at the same time on the screen. I think that could be really fun. So maybe for Christmas we'll do something like that if you guys are interested, or something. I don't know. So yeah, I can message you all on Instagram or I don't think there's a private chat function in YouTube. Let's see, there's a private chat here. Oh, no, that's just for, oh, yeah, no, that is just for chatting with people who are on the stream with me. But we can definitely coordinate. So, Chris, if I don't already follow you on Instagram, I'll find you. If you're ever interested in joining, that could be fun. We always used to have fun when we had multiple people on the screen and we could see what everybody was coloring. So yeah, so I'm going to let you guys go. It's over. Our hour is over. And you can also let me know too, like how long do you like these things to go? I was going to try to stick to an hour just to be respectful of everybody's time. But if people like to go longer, I could always go longer. And if it's like, no, an hour is way too long, then we could do shorter. But yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to figure it out and see what works for everyone and what works for me. And just having fun talking to people again. So have a great, great day, everyone. And I will see you around. I don't remember if I finished my thought, Chris, so I'm going to say it again, is I will find you on Instagram if I don't already follow you, if you're on Instagram. If you are and you're still here and you're willing to put your name in your Instagram name in the comments so I can find you, I will be happy to follow you if I don't already. Your name looks kind of familiar and I don't know why, so maybe I've watched your stuff before. I don't know. But if you're ever interested in joining, then we can coordinate easier, I think, through Instagram, through a private chat thing there. Maybe there's a better option. I don't know, but let's figure something out. That would be fun. So, okay, everybody, I gotta go and I will let you go. Thanks for joining me today and I'll see you soon. Oh, but there's another button. And do I look at the camera? Bye.